Heaven save
I
me.
should be live now. Make my post on X. Barrel. And totally don't have Spotify going yet. Is that going to? Let me know when you're ready to switch over.
Give me 2 seconds.
You good?
1, 2. Why is my phone being dumb? Alright, I think I'm ready.
Doesn't sound too confident, but I'm good with it. Give it to a minute and a half of streaming to switch over.
Sounds good.
Hello, YouTube land. Welcome to Race Hale Praise Dale. I think it is your turn to do intro.
It is. So, being said, welcome to Race Hale Praise Dale, the podcast. We talk everything related to the world of NASCAR, Cup Series, and a little bit of other things sprinkled in. I'm JTDALLLIS.
I'm Voodoo.
And we are your co-host of this awesome show. Who
Who now has 43 subscribers.
Who now has 43 subscribers. That's right. Sorry. But anyway, welcome in. So, what do you mean what happened?
So don't have them voices in your head mic'd up, huh?
Oh, she refuses.
We made it past our 25th episode. We're on our 26th now.
We did.
Anywho, before we get into it, let's roll that intro and we'll jump in.
Sure. All right. So, as I was saying, welcome to Race Hale Praise Dale. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Briackyard 400. I think that today's kind of special because we won't have a race for 2 weeks. So,
We don't have a NASCAR sanctioned race for 2 weeks, but we do have some racing this weekend. We'll get to that on Race Day Horizon.
yes, sir. Welcome in, guys. If you're watching, if this is your first time watching, let me get for some reason my thoughts are like everywhere right now, so I'm sorry. So why don't we jump into the post-race breakdown? All right, so usually we talk about penalties from not this last weekend, but the weekend before. So if like there was a penalty, so we'll be talking about penalties for Pocono, and there were none. So
easy peasy lemon squeezy segment there.
Right.
So that means we get to jump forward to the return to the Briackyard 400, which, I mean, wasn't a bad race, but it wasn't exactly super exciting either. But
yeah,
I'll still take it over the road course.
I was a little heated at the beginning of stage 3.
Yeah, me too.
If you guys watch the podcast, you will learn. Voodoo and I are both Johnson fans, and he was racing this weekend at the beginning of stage 3.
Almost in the top 10.
Yeah, he was, what, 13th?
I think he was 11th at the time of the wreck.
I don't know who I want to throat punch. Blaney, his spotter, or who was it? Zane Smith.
Was it Zane?
But
Was it Zane or was it Hocevar? I don't remember.
It might have been Hocevar. I can't remember. I know it was a rookie. Anyway,
it wasn't Cosgrove because he wasn't in the race.
Yeah, I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but yeah. So one of the you say I'm thinking you're right. I think it was Hocevar. Jumped and made it 3 wide, which caused Blaney to try to block him, and ending up with Blaney getting quarter paneled, slamming right into Johnson, which in turn puts Johnson and Logano hard into the wall, ending their day. I was not happy.
Yeah, it was a stronger showing from Jimmy.
I know. I thought we had the goat back for a minute, and then
and not to leave him out either. Nemechek was doing real well until that last wreck that caught him up.
Yeah. I thought we had the goat. I thought we had the goat back until that wreck hit, and
yeah. You'd think 2 legacy cars in the top 10 at the finish of the race would have been nice
for once.
But get a couple weeks to work on Richmond, so we'll see what happens there.
Johnson still has 1 or 2 more races he's racing, right? Or is this it?
No, he's still got more. Let's see. Where is there? I have it pulled up, but let me pull it up real quick to see. Yeah, go back. He just finished Indy. Yeah, so he'll be back for Kansas, Las Vegas, and then Phoenix. So he's got 3 more races.
Maybe we'll see the GOAT return in Kansas.
I'll see. But as far as schemes, for Kansas will be Dollar Tree Family Dollar, and hopefully they'll bring a different one than what they raced last time.
Nasty.
There's also Las Vegas, and then Phoenix will be Carvana again, which it's going to be a different scheme because Carvana schemes have been different each race that he's used it.
I really hope he'll just magically say, "Oh, I'm running a full season next season. I'm deciding to place Eric Jones."
In the 43, Jimmy Johnson. Can you imagine Jimmy running another throwback scheme to Petty in the 43?
I could not. Sorry, I've got like a splinter in my finger.
Yeah, jumping back to the present time and the Briackyard 400 cup purse is a whopping $9,596,601 US dollars.
You kind of cut out on my end. I don't know if you did in the recording, but just
I don't think I am, but I can repeat it just in case.
Live.
It looks like I'm registering fine, but cup purse $9,596,601 US dollars.
Gotcha. And then of course Tyler Reddick got the pole with Denny Hamlin on his heels in a close second.
We got a couple cars that jumped to the rear for unapproved adjustments, which was the number 2 Austin Cindric and the number 19 of Martin Truex Jr. But the specialty tagged along with Truex is the fact that NASCAR really didn't like it, so they made him do a pass through at the drop of the green flag. Yeah.
Also, can we talk about some penalties during the race, because that's kind of a hot issue? Let's look at Chase Elliott's exiting pit road.
Chase and who else got it?
That's what I was trying to remember. Was it Bush?
Maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was two different guys, but there was, yeah, it was the verbiage that they sent out in the email / whatever they sent out was to not get onto the racing surface, which I could see as that just being anywhere on the track. But if you think about it, the racing line at that point is right up against the wall pretty much. That being the outside wall.
That was my thing. If they're going to enforce something, they should make it very clear on what they're going to try to enforce. Because, I mean, if you watch the race, you heard some of Chase Elliott's radio. He was not happy at all about it, which he had a reason to not be happy about it. It cost him very... What's the word I'm looking for here? Essential, track placement. I don't think that's what cost them the race, but I could see where they're like, oh, be like me saying, hey, don't touch that, and then you do what I say, be like, no, but don't touch it this specific way, and now I'm gonna fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. I disagree with NASCAR on that one. I think that, especially for it to hit two drivers, I think there was obviously a lack of communication, and if anything, they should have put it out that, hey, from now on,
Well, I think they will change the verbiage before next season. Because PPG is they signed a deal to sponsor the Briackyard for the next 5 years, I believe. So,
which I think it's cool to see it come back.
But with that being said, I do see the rules changing for next season. But I don't agree with it, because last season the way that they were going out just above that white line and cutting back in, they just about everybody did it last season. Yeah. Or not last season, but last time they raced there. So,
which they also exited differently, didn't they? Because I thought they come out right at the beginning of one last time they ran it. I could be wrong. I was just thinking
I don't know if they jumped up on the track there, but I do know they came out above that white line and then cut back down just to pick up some extra speed when they're coming out of that secondary area there. But
see, I thought that they extended that as far as where they come out. For some reason I was thinking they either come out at the turn one. Like I said, I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and look it up. But anyway, let's talk about our stage winners. Of course, Denny Hamlin won stage 1. Bubbles surprised us all and won stage 2. Yeah. And Kyle Larson was our race winner.
I don't agree with that finish either.
That's what I was going to say. By a way that I don't think they should have done it. I think it should have been a 2-lap shootout. But at the same time, I think NBC was worried about their airtime, so that's probably the reason.
Yeah, well, then they still wound up throwing the last little bit of the race on USA instead of NBC anyway. So
yeah,
didn't really save them in the long run. But yeah, as soon as Priest right there hit that wall, that should have been a caution. But they waited until they completed almost a full lap.
Was it Priest or was it Barry? Because I thought it was Barry, the one that wrecked.
No, it was Priest at the end there.
Okay.
Barry got out, I think, earlier in the race.
Okay. But yeah, especially because he hit the inside barrier.
Yeah. Which I believe in some of the areas they don't have the safer barrier on the inside wall.
Yeah,
I don't know if that specific spot he hit didn't. But
I feel like they definitely should have called it before they crossed the white flag.
Oh yeah. But they wanted Larson to win, so that's what it is. And of course, tech was complete with no issues found, and nobody going back to research and development.
Well, Mr. H said, "Here, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to slip you a cool $1 million for you to make sure one of my guys win."
Yeah. It wasn't going to be Willie B because he hit real hard early in the race.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't going to be Willie B.
No.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, he hasn't been consistent at all this season. I mean,
true.
Either has Alex Bowman, though.
Yeah, although Alex is kind of picking it up toward the middle
He
of the
won
season.
one race. I'm not gonna say he's picking it up.
Yeah,
I
but his
feel like-
average finish is picking up.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, but maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's only gonna last a couple weeks because he's riding off of his one win. I see him dropping back to where he usually has been setting, like mid. Which I'm not saying he's like a last place driver. I'm saying he's a mid driver, and for Hendrick to be the powerhouse that they are, I feel like he should be placing a little better.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
We shall see. Jumping to our notable entries for the Brickyard 400.
He's here.
Starting off first is in the number 15, not Kaz Gralla, but Cody Ware again. Actually did decent this race. Started in the 36th and finished in 18th.
Yeah.
Even though he lost his sponsor.
I will say the car on track looked a lot better on track than it did on the previews.
It still was ugly, though.
I didn't say it wasn't ugly. I just said it looked a lot better. But anyway, in the number 16, you had the Dinger. He started 15th, got wrecked out with Willie B, and finished 37th. Yeah, they wrecked on lap 74.
Ty Dillon in the number 33. Started in 22nd and moved just a few spots ahead to 19th at the end of the race there.
Yes, sir. And then you had BJ McLeod. Started 39th and finished 39th due to engine issues on lap 15.
Yeah, so they barely got any experience there.
Yeah, I felt real bad, honestly.
And then the GOAT. Could have finished a whole lot better. Started in 33rd, finished in 33rd because of stupid wreck on lap 110. That's all I'm going to talk about that because I don't want to live through that pain anymore.
I'm still salty. Anyway, moving on to our rookie of the week. We got Josh Berry, who started in 37th, only went up 2 positions due to a wreck on lap 74.
Yeah. Kaz Gralla didn't race, so we don't have to cover him. And then the number 71 is Zane Smith. Jumped up 10 spots because he started on 27th and finished in 17th.
Yes, sir. And then we got Carson Hocevar, who started the whole conundrum with Johnson, because the more I think about it, the more I remember seeing his car. Sadly, he started 30th and finished 12th when he should have been the one that finished 33rd. And yeah. Johnson should have finished 12th.
But instead, he gets Rookie of the Week.
You know, just because of that, I'm not giving it to him. Zane Smith gets Rookie of the Week.
All right. Jump to the points for our rookies. I think he moved up 1 spot, maybe. Or no, he went back a spot. Down to 22nd would be Josh Berry with 388 points. He gained a whopping, I think it was 2 points this race. Fun times.
But closing in on him in the 24th position is the 77 of Carson Hocevar, who has 383 points, and that's only 5 points behind Berry.
Yeah, so he closed it up a bunch because I think it was 30-something points last week.
I want to say it was like 36.
Zane Smith bumped up 1 spot to 33rd. Now has 248 points, which he closed up the gap a little bit too. He's now down to 140 points behind Berry.
Yes, sir. And then we had Kaz Gralla, which he did not race this week, so he stayed the same amount, like points wise, which is 166 total points. That's 222 behind Josh Berry.
Not bad for not racing and only losing a 2-point gap to Josh Berry.
Right. Rip Josh Berry.
Right. All right. So next up, Go ahead and throw our weekend winners video up for you guys so you can see who all won this weekend. If you don't want to watch this right here, you can watch it on our YouTube or on our TikTok or on our X, or you can just sit here and watch it now.
Sounds good to me. All right, thank you guys so much for watching our weekend winners. It's something I do every week. And then next we got our drivers without a win in 2024, which everybody stays the same except plus a race, which
except for Casgrella.
Except for Casgrella, you're right. I'm sorry. And we really need to make a graphic because I love the fact that Corey LaJoy has 258 races with no wins, no stage wins, nothing.
I should make a graphic that pops up right beneath our webcams right there, and like,
something like right
longest
over here.
Winless streak.
Yeah, he has the longest winless streak in NASCAR history. Meaning no stage wins, no truck wins, no Xfinity wins. He is the only Cup driver that's never won.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy. But yeah.
Yeah. And judging by the way that he treats Kyle Busch, apparently maybe he shouldn't be in the Cup Series.
Right.
But anyway, enough about Corey LaJoy.
I'm gonna go jump to our RHPD Motorsports Cup team and see what the update is on these guys.
Sir, so we did have a winner on our lineup this week.
We got a 1-2-3 finish, sir. Our first 1-2-3 finish.
I was about to say that. I was gonna say we had a winner followed by a second and a third place, but
would have had another one up there if old Bad Brad didn't. They got no gas in it.
I know it's like he's taking tips from Blaney or something.
Right.
Maybe we need to separate them in the drivers' meetings.
Maybe so. But Ryan Blaney in our 62 got a third place finish. Tyler Reddick in our 63 got a second place finish.
And then you got a Larson with the first place finish. He definitely gets the driver of the week as far as RHPD Motorsports. Then you got Bad Brad, who kind of let us down with his empty fuel tank. Got a 21st finish.
Yeah. Is what it is, though.
Yeah.
Jump to
and
the
then
point.
we got old Larson, who finally passed Bell, which I'm kind of upset about, but hey, it's okay. 749 points. He currently leads the playoff standings with 4 wins and 8 stage wins, if I'm reading that right.
That's right. Tyler Reddick is in third with 734 points. It's only 15 behind Larson, so not a big gap. Still only has 1 win and 3 stage wins.
And we got OG I'm out of gas Blaney. He's in 5th place with 676 points. That's 73 behind Larson, and he has 2 wins and 2 stage wins.
And Bad Brad Keselowski is living up to the bad part, but he's still got a top 10. He's in 9th, 615 points, 134 points back of Larson, with a measly 1 win and a goose egg. That's 0 stage wins.
So, I mean, all of our drivers are in the playoffs right now, probably because we had a 6-month, cheat period.
You don't have to keep telling people that. Just make them think that we're awesome like that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, all of our drivers are in the playoffs, which is awesome. Can't wait to see how we stack up at the end of the season. Who knows? We might have a champion our rookie season.
I'm fine with that.
And speaking of playoffs, no one got a new lock-in this week, so Voodoo is still beating me by one person in the playoff as far as our actual playoff predictions.
Yeah. Now, the good thing is it's now official that a win will get you into the playoffs because there's only enough races left that would fill up those even if we got a new winner in each race. So,
yeah. But so I currently sit at 9 drivers from my original playoff pick. Voodoo is sitting at 10. The difference is Suarez was not selected by any host. Keselowski was only selected by Voodoo, and Cindric was selected by me. And then Voodoo pulled ahead by selecting Bowman as he won at Chicago.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Jumping forward to some changes, we're going to look at some trackside trends. NASCAR updates. So I think we covered this last week, but we'll cover it again just because Richmond's coming up. But Cup teams will get 2 sets of the softer option tire at Richmond. That's the same tire that was used at the All-Star race. And that'll be in addition to 6 sets of the regular tire that they go there for. And that's for the race. They will also have 1 option tire and 2 regular tire sets for practice. But for qualifying, they all got to use the regular tire.
I mean, it makes sense for everybody to have about the same to actually get a standings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But moving on from tires, NASCAR Holdings has initiated a major restructuring to its business as a time where NASCAR is asking teams to tighten their spending. Brian Herbst, Tim Clark, Ben Kennedy, Scott Prime, and Michael Byron are among the NASCAR. What?
Michelle Byron.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle Byron are among the NASCAR executives who are being given elevated profiles and responsibilities. These moves will allow NASCAR staff to get used to a new structure ahead of 2025 when NASCAR will go from 2 to 5 domestic media right partners. Among other big changes, the restructuring included a small number of layoffs in recent weeks, including the sponsor sales department, as SBJ previously reported. The exact number of people was unclear. Yeah, so that was reported by a sports business journal, so sounds like they're changing a lot. Maybe they're having some budget problems. I mean,
well, I know they merged a couple of departments, and some of the executives got some promotions and blah blah blah. So.
And apparently demotions.
It is what it is. We'll see how that changes over the rest of the season, really. Next season. I'm not expecting too much change, but moving forward, in order. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, if anything, they're moving from 2 to 5 media rights partners, so maybe that will expose the sport just a little bit more, and maybe they can get some more funding. Who knows? I was looking at figures here a while back, and I forget where I seen it, but at the beginning of this season, they were saying that they have more viewers, like it's equivalent to like a 2012 season versus some of more recent. You know what I mean? I want to say the viewership was up like 14% or something like that. Like I said, don't quote me on that. I'm trying to remember the article that I was reading, but due to like the new Netflix, seasons, or not season, but documentary coming out at the beginning of the season, them going to Prime, maybe somebody will watch it and Amazon will push it, kind of like the NFL. The only thing that I'm kind of leery about with stuff like that is like, are the races gonna have more ads on them? Kind of like The one thing that I'm worried about is I want to watch a race to watch a race. I don't want to watch a race to watch the commercials. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're gonna find out next season.
I mean, like, yeah, I will say if they make like more NASCAR commercials, or like, you know, NASCAR starts being put back into like, you know, everyday, well, not really items. I'm trying to think of what the word I'm looking. No. Like pop culture and stuff like that.
Mainstream.
So like, yes, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Like, I know it's like the NFL's, think of it, that's the kind of the goal that I'm thinking of, because like the best season for NASCAR as far as like modern NASCAR was what, 2008, 2006, something like that.
All the years that Jimmy won.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's be honest. I would love to, you know, go into a cereal aisle and be like, oh, you get these Chex Mix, and there's a, you know, a car in the Chex Mix. Like, just not only just for nostalgia reasons, but that shows to me that the sport's actually coming back to where it should be, as far where I think it should be. Right?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see for sure.
I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I have noticed this past season, I have seen more like motorsports being pushed into like grocery stores. I've seen more ads, which, like I said, it could be just the algorithm just pushing it towards me, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's growing back. It's not near what it used to be, but I think it's a step in the right direction when they go into, well, you know, we're going to do 5 races on Amazon. We're going to do 5 races on TNT, and we're really going to promote the crap out of all this, you know. And as much as I hate to say it, I mean, the Clash, I feel like that was more of a promotion that kind of went bad when they moved it to the Coliseum. I think if they really started promoting it like they do baseball and football and stuff like that, versus, you know, just, oh, it's a big party, we have people that don't even know the sport, you know what I mean? I feel like that.
Maybe so.
That's my 2 cents. I'm sorry I went on a rant.
Oh, good. Not a super formal podcast. I don't have the backing like old Kevin Harvick and stuff like that.
Right.
Moving forward, next piece of news is kind of cool. In order to prevent cars from getting stranded when they get a flat, NASCAR will allow Cup teams to start installing a lifter system on the rear dampers next month, so that the rear of the car may be raised when necessary. Before you question how teams are going to take advantage of that, the system can only be actuated by a NASCAR official.
Of course.
Well, that's going to be cool. So they're not going to be stuck in the grass and not be able to go anywhere. NASCAR official can come raise the rear and let them get on out of there.
Yeah, I just...
Quicker than towing them.
It is quicker than towing them, and it does pose a safety problem, you know, when they're stuck, like, in the transition between the bank. Like, I'm thinking of Daytona, and, you know what I mean? you get what I'm saying. Yep. Like, Daytona, Talladega, it's super easy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a wreck in one of the corners, but it's guaranteed that if there's a wreck in a corner, you're definitely going to get people stuck, whether that be in the grass or in the transition, or it's a madhouse. I get the need for it. I wish that they would, like, I get that the NASCAR official is the one that, you know, I get why, but at the same time, they should trust the teams enough to say, you know, hey, you can only use this if we say it's okay. Like, and I don't know if that's what they mean. Well, what I'm saying is, I don't know if you know, the NASCAR officials will have the controller, or if they'll just have the say-so of, okay, go ahead and use it. That's the part that's unclear to me. I have a feeling that it'll probably just be, you know, they will give the say-so, which I hope so. But anyway,
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I got a feeling that it's probably going to be a NASCAR official that has to be there to actuate it. Because if you do it to where they just need permission, then who's to say that a team's not going to try and like get some sort of advantage by popping it when they don't need to?
What's the advantage of it? What's that advantage besides slowing them down? Because I mean, when I think of, you know, a lifter, that's the opposite of what you want on a race car. Because, you know, you lift it up, you create an air channel, which creates drag. What you don't want, because that'll slow you down. And I have a feeling they'll make it rather obvious when they use it. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, when they say a lifter, I'm thinking of like a hydraulic piece, you know, that takes forever to come down. And I mean, I think it'll be faster than towing them, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it'll be kind of like an airbag system where it's going to take a minute for it to go up, and if they're at speed, if the teams have it, there might be a way, like a safety thing, where if they're at speed, they cannot engage the lifter. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know. That's just, I don't know enough about it, you know what I mean, to say, oh, it's a good thing or oh, it's a bad thing. I don't see teams being able to utilize it for more speed or anything. But I don't know.
Yeah, depends on how much it changes, but like you mentioned, it'll cause drag, but it'll also kind of throw that back spoiler up a little bit, where you get a little more downforce. But we shall see.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're just gonna wait and see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But speaking of teams, they have submitted their counter proposal to NASCAR in regards to the charter negotiations in the last week or two. So,
yeah,
see how that plays out. I haven't heard anything else about it.
No changes to the schedule yet. Latest report I heard about that coming out would be sometime mid next month, but heard that for like 2 months now. We'll see.
Right.
Team changes. Trackhouse has a couple new things going on.
Yeah.
One doesn't really involve the Cup Series, but it is a Cup Series driver. Daniel Suarez is set to compete in the NASCAR Brazil Series Special Edition tournament that runs parallel to the main competition over there in the Brazil Series. He's going to drive a Chevrolet Camaro, obviously, at Interlagos, the weekend of August 2nd through 4th. So, not this weekend, but next weekend. He's not taking a full break. And
I don't know if we'll be able to watch it, but I think it'd be a cool watch.
Yeah, I'm don't remember where it said it was going to be broadcasted at. If it was going to be broadcasted, I have to look that up.
You also got to think: is it going to be broadcasted in English or?
Yeah, well,
Portuguese. So, I don't speak Portuguese. I don't know about you, but
I sure don't. English only for this guy.
Yeah. Then you got Avenue Sports Fund, owned by Mark Lassery, has taken a minority stake in Trackhouse Entertainment Group. So,
got a little more funding coming into that race team there. Technically, the above the race team portion. All good. Jumping to Haas Factory Team, we got some news.
Yeah, we got some.
Whoa,
we got a
what's going on with your
What's
mic?
up?
Your mic sounds way different now.
Does it?
Yeah, you got like super loud and.
Hang on, let me make sure it's using the right mic. Oh, that's probably why. Hang on a minute.
Earthquake.
Can you hear me now?
Sounds better. Yeah. I had to like turn you way down because you were like super loud.
My mic come unplugged for some reason. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. Yeah, so Cole Custer will be driving the 41 Ford with sponsorship from Haas Automation and Haas Tooling. So he'll be driving that for next season for Haas Tools.
Yeah, and then Haas Factory Team will have a technical alliance with RFK. It'll be kind of nifty.
Yeah,
Gonna be by themselves.
Oops, sorry. The Xfinity side has made an office to Riley Herbst, who's currently weighing all his options. Oh,
I put the wrong word in there.
Well, my brain said offer, but I know my mouth said office. So Xfinity side has made an offer to Riley Herbst, who is currently weighing his options, including a potential Cup ride. So,
yeah, I hear he's the front runner for the extra 2311 ride.
Heck yeah.
But okay. In addition to Xfinity, they apparently have also reached out to Hale Deegan. So she may have another chance at running in the Xfinity. That'd be interesting.
Yes, sir. And then we got hang on, sorry. I have a child that thinks that they can scream. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving forward, dude. And jumping to our race day horizon. While he's away, we'll continue the show. As you know, the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series are all on a, well, technically Xfinity's on a longer break, but they're all on a 2-week break because of the Olympics. We will not see any Cup Series, Truck Series, or Xfinity Series racing this weekend or next weekend. Won't come back until August 10th and 11th. That weekend they will hit Richmond. But we do have some racing this weekend. Don't fret.
We do.
If you want to grab that real quick.
So at 8:00 p.m. on Saturday, that's the 27th, ARCA is running at Salem Speedway for the Salem ARCA 200. That will be broadcast on Flow Racing or the Fox Sports app. I did, however, jump into Tony Bridinger chat, was it last night? Yeah. And she said that she is looking forward to Salem. It is a harder track for her, but she's going to do her best. So that was kind of cool to get like a little inside look on that, which I was going to bring this up. But so she said she's excited for it. If I remember right, she said she was running her Raising Cane's car. So that'd be fun to look forward to.
Yeah.
As one of the podcast favorite ARCA drivers.
Yeah, and with it being on the Fox Sport app, I might try and catch it.
Definitely. It'll give us something to talk about next week.
Yeah. We don't have any picks to win the upcoming race because the upcoming race is like 3 weekends away.
Facts.
Not gonna go with that. But if you want to get in on the fantasy league, you can. Got a couple weeks to get it all together. It's on NASCAR.com. It's Raise Hale. That's Hale. Raisdale Podcast. Make sure you got the podcast on the tail end of it, or it's not ours. The password to get in is all lowercase RHPD 2024. If you can somehow manage to close the gap and surpass Trash Can, then you can have your chance to get a 164th diecast from the Lionel Racing website of your choice.
Yes, sir.
But, good luck with that. I got my his points league down to 148 points, by the way.
Heck yeah. Speaking of getting diecast, we have an announcement.
Yeah, but that announcement comes after we do the intro of the next segment, sir.
Well, then roll that intro, big boy. Let's get after it.
We are going to jump to our Flick Schemes Spotlight. Now, usually here we would show our schemes that are coming up, but before we get into that, this segment now has a little bit of assistance, I guess you could say. Affiliate, I guess. Anywho, Happy Hour Racing. You want some NASCAR or Formula One merch? Make sure to check the link down in the description that we got on this video here, or just head over to happyhourracing.com and use our code RHPD to help support the podcast. Got,
I was reading, if it is your first order, you get 10% off.
Yeah, there is a different code to use for that. I believe it's 10 off, I think, is the code for that one. It's at the top of the website when you go on there.
Well, that's my bad. I thought it was just our code. If you use our code, the first, yeah.
Well, it's just the first order you get the 10% off, but for every order we get a portion of that to help go towards the podcast.
Sir, so if you would be awesome supporters of this channel and allow us to do some more giveaways, maybe do some races, you know, we could do a live at a race or something maybe one day, who knows. So be sure to head over to Happy Hour, use code RHPD. They got some cool stuff. I've already found like 5 or 6 things that I want to order. One of them being the Digicamo Bell hat. That one's really cool. They've got a really cool, it was limited stock when I was looking at it earlier today, so it might be gone, might not be, but they had a Kyle Busch American flag hat. It was really cool. I wanted to get some of that. They had some cool shirts. They even had some die cast there. It was definitely worth a check out. But yeah,
happyhourracing.com. Use code RHPD to help us out.
And you know what makes me really happy?
What's that?
This scheme that you have chosen for the older scheme.
Yep. We'll go ahead and drop this Happy Hour Racing logo down and bring up our paint scheme. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the right one.
There.
Yeah. I promise I'm a professional. Oh. So, I decided to go with old Harry Gant. Which technically Legacy Motor Club is kind of running a throwback to with their Dollar Tree schemes.
Yeah, but it will never be the Skull Bandit, unfortunately, because this car absolutely slaps.
It does indeed. So he ran this scheme, specifically this version of the scheme, because he did run a couple different variations of Skull Bandit. But this specific scheme was in '94. That being said, it wasn't his best season, but it was one of his toward the end of his career there. He had 30 starts, 1 pole, and 0 wins, 0 top 5s, and 7 top 10s. But if you look at that pretty thing with that actual Bandit logo on the front, it is indeed a very iconic scheme. That green along the side and white on the top and bottom.
This is definitely one of my holy grail pieces. I have been searching for one, and you're going to say, oh, they sell them all the time. No, most of the time you see them, it says Gant on it, and it doesn't have the Bandit, you know. I want one that says Skull all the way across it, has the Bandit, you know. That's what I want.
You might have to go and get you a custom one made.
I know, and that's the sad part.
Right. Yeah. That is my thin scheme. So, Harry Gant making a return on the podcast. He's had a few people throw back to him this season, so
yeah,
I feel like he should have made it to the Hall of Fame too, but maybe next year.
maybe 26.
So jumping to this next scheme here, since you mentioned old Kyle Busch and the American flag hat.
I did. So my scheme is the Cheddar's American flag number 8. Like I said, the Happy Hour Racing did have. I'm not saying they do right now. They did have the hat to match. This is one of my favorite schemes on track. I almost went with Johnson's, but like I said in the scheme video, I am a sucker for red, white, and blue. You throw Old Glory on a car, and it is going to be my favorite car. I don't know. It's a simplistic design. I like the faded stars in the blue. It looked really good on track. Of course, it's Kyle Busch this season, so it did okay. It's, Busch started 34th and finished 25th. It did okay. I mean, it definitely isn't the M&M's machine as far as powerhouse, but it's not bad.
I agree. It's a pretty nice looking scheme, but I feel like they could have done more.
I definitely, I would have liked to seen the silhouettes, kind of like I did on our Voo Crew League. I think that would have really been cool. Like, had the silhouettes of soldiers on the side or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his scheme there.
Yes, sir.
Considering we don't have a bunch of Cup Series and other NASCAR sanctioned, our American NASCAR sanctioned series running this weekend or next weekend, our episodes are going to be a tiny bit shorter than what they normally are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but I think that's all we got for this episode. So make sure if you enjoyed this, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and help us get to that 50 mark. This is our next goal. We're only 7 away at the moment, so
getting close.
Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier, which I was going to tell all of our watchers and listeners. I know I say it a lot, but I am super grateful how the podcast is coming along. Like, just last season when I tried, and just couldn't get it to really take off doing it by myself. It was a lot more boring than it is now. I was just telling you what happened during the race, this lap, so-and-so spun, whatever. I feel like it has definitely evolved into something that's a lot of fun to do. It's just some of the things that, Voodoo has come up with and done, I don't think I could have done. And so much that he has taught me through doing all this, like as far as like the production, the slides, getting our affiliate program started with Happy Hour Racing. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to what the rest of the season and next season will bring. And maybe see what we could do during the off season, if we even want to do anything during the off season.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will as well. Just figure out what we want to talk about. Maybe kind of change it up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to the 50th or 50 subscriber episode. Just some of the ideas that we're throwing around. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of cleanup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for those of you who have already subscribed and who are sharing the channel with other people. Like I said, I went from 2 listeners a season ago to now, our videos getting over 100 views. We've got 50 subscribers. It's a big deal to me. I know a lot of people might think, hey, it's just 50 subscribers, but like seeing how, like, where it all started, what I mean, it's just it gives me like a warm fuzzy feeling inside, like especially seeing like the logo up behind you. Just, the fact that we got to meet out in Nashville and record an episode together,
Yep.
Stuff like that, I don't think I would have gotten to do. At least like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At least to the extent, and it's been nothing but fun this entire season, and I'm looking forward to continuing the fun. And who knows, we might get eventually big enough to get some, maybe some exclusive interviews, maybe eventually get drivers on. That would be really cool.
Potentially at this point next season, we may be surpassing the 150 subscriber mark. If
right,
we just continue growing how we are now. But I feel like the more subscribers we get, we'll pick up steam.
Definitely.
Continue on.
Like I said, and I know I say it a lot, but it just amazes me how much we've grown over just, these 6 months. When we first started this, I mean, we might have gotten 1 view, 2 views on every episode. Now it seems like we average about 80. Yeah. That's nuts to me, to think about, like, that's how much we have. Your skiing video without commentary has over 360 views right now. And that blows my mind. I mean, some of our TikToks have 700 and something views, and we're getting people that are actually commenting and stuff. So I'm looking forward to, like, the giveaways we'll potentially do next season. I'm looking forward to, meeting up hopefully next season either at a track, or not even necessarily at a track, but like, just meeting up and doing another. I would love to do a annual episode where it's me and you on the same place at the same time, where we don't have this.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be at a track like you mentioned.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying, but it was definitely a lot of fun where we could sit down and interact with each other, not through a computer, not with like a second delay. And
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more energy between us when that happens. I mean, we carry each other's energy a little bit better, unless it's 3 a.m. and we're unboxing cards.
Yeah. that was a little rough. But I say if we do go back to another race, that it's gonna have to be like in the spring or fall, so we're not like trying to die of heat stroke or something.
I mean, at least we had the rain that drenched us.
Yeah.
And probably made us all like, like our headaches 10 times.
Yeah, and then our seats were covered from the building behind us, so that was nice afterwards.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to the next time we can get together, whether that be next season or off season some point, just whatever. I am definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Like I said, this podcast is definitely podcast, videocast, whatever you want to call it, has definitely grown past my expectations. Because before, around here, there's not, where I live, there's not very many people that watch NASCAR. I mean, it was just basically me talking about something that, I knew a little bit about, but since we've done this, I have learned so much more about like rules and, how NASCAR views things, what different driver opinions are, not just me watching a race. Oh, this dude turned, this tire blew out here, whatever. Like, I learned a lot more about the silly season stuff. I learned about up and coming drivers. I've learned, it's just a cool experience to sit down and think about everything that's like happening.
Going on, Braden. Welcome to the chat, sir. How you doing, buddy?
Welcome in. But yeah, it's just awesome to see, that go on, and that side of the sport that, I grew up watching, and I kind of dropped, for 8 years. And then, I picked back up, and then I got to I wouldn't say find, but I got to rediscover the community, and it was a lot of fun. I've been, since I started watching again since 2021, I've been to 4 races and 5 tracks, and it's just like a whole other experience. I've learned that it's a lot more fun watching them live because you get like the vibe off everybody, and I don't know how you feel, but NASCAR fans are just so much nicer than a lot of places.
We're doing great, Braden. And also, thank you for dropping that sub for us, buddy. Definitely appreciate that. Gets us up to 44. Go.
Yeah.
I think you were the first one that has subscribed while we were actually live.
Dang.
So
That's awesome.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you for dropping in and coming to show some love.
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, you're catching us at the tail end of the episode, but it's all good. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are live here on YouTube talking about the previous race, the upcoming race, and any changes that are going on in the NASCAR world. We definitely appreciate it. Yeah, with that being said, push the word out because we're trying to get to 50. We got a special episode that'll come up to put out for you guys when we do hit that 50 mark. Real close now. You got anything else you want to add in there real quick? Yeah.
Just thanks to all our subs. I mean, I've said it 500 times this episode.
Hey, we'll always thank you guys because without y'all, we wouldn't be here doing this. So.
Definitely.
Or at least we wouldn't be as passionate about it. We'd be talking to ourselves, basically.
But, yeah, so thanks once again, guys. Thanks for the follow, Braden.
Awesome,
now
man.
I'm gonna call you.
Appreciate that.
Now I'm gonna call you out every episode, so be watching for that. I'm just gonna sneak it in.
Yeah.
But
with that being said, we'll go ahead and hit that outro.
Yep.
So we are crossing the finish line of another Race Hale Praisedale episode. Until next time, may your tracks be clear and your victories many. Good night, race fans, and especially good night to you, Braden, joining up.
Heck yeah, Braden. Good night.